Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. My name is Addie and today I'm going to be giving you guys an update on my hyperhidrosis. My last video on excessive sweating has become my most watched video, which has like 1,000 views, which is kind of crazy. I know that's not a lot in the grand scheme of things when you think of all the other videos out there, but for me that's kind of huge. So thank you guys for all of your comments and questions, and today I'm going to be answering some and giving you some additional tips and tricks that I have found useful after having my second procedure. If you're just tuning into my channel, I would recommend going and watching my last video on excessive sweating before watching this one, as everything will make a little bit more sense, and I'll give a link to it in the description. So just to remind everyone, MiraDry is a non-invasive outpatient procedure that permanently reduces sweat, odor, and, I forgot to mention this in the last video, but it permanently reduces hair growth as well. It uses electromagnetic energy to permanently destroy sweat and odor glands over the course of a few months. So I had my first MiraDry procedure in April of 2021 and my second in November of 2021. I was pretty pleased with the results from my first procedure, but I wanted to go back a second time just to see if I could reduce sweat and odor in my left armpit even more. Because if you recall, I didn't have as much success on the left armpit as my right. Something to keep in mind is that you may have some sweat glands that are either too deep or too close to the surface of your skin for the MiraDry machine to reach. And some sweat glands can tend to be more resistant than others. And I think that's what I've come to realize might be the case for me, because even after my second procedure, I still am not fully satisfied with the results on my left armpit. However, this time around, I did tend to notice a little bit more side effects than I did on the first procedure. And this very well could be because I wasn't as good this time about icing my armpits regularly. After my first procedure, I made sure to do that all the time. I was constantly icing them for, months afterwards. And I just was a little bit more lax about it the second time around. So it could be why I've had a little bit more side effects. When I say side effects, I'm mostly referring to a tingling sensation that kind of runs down my arm. This happens if I just kind of use my arms too much on any given day, then sometimes I will feel like a tingling sensation or a numbness. But I haven't noticed it recently, so I'm thinking maybe I'm on the other side of that. It's been about 6 months since I had the second procedure, so at this point, I feel pretty back to normal. My armpits feel regular, they look regular. The numbness that I mentioned and the tingling sensation has pretty much gone away, but I did notice that lingered for longer than it did the first time around, and that kind of makes me hesitant to go back for a third time, which I initially was intending to do because I just want to be as dry and as odor-free as possible. But because of the tingling sensation that I had, it makes me a little bit wary of going back for a third time. The other reason why I feel like I may not go back a third time is that one lingering side effect that really hasn't gone away is that my arms just get tired, like a lot more easily. Like I can still do everything that I need to do. I have full use and function of my arms, but like if I have to hold something up for a while, or if I'm doing a lot of like manual labor around the house, like my arms get tired like pretty easily. And that's obviously not the most ideal. I don't know if that's something that will get better over time, or if that's something I'll just kind of have to live with. I mean, I think that, I can probably build up my muscle strength more over time through working out, and it's only been 6 months, so, maybe years down the road it won't even be a problem anymore. But I just wanted to let you guys know that that's been my experience, that after the second procedure, my arms just get tired. They get pretty tired pretty easily. And, I have to rest when I can. And I do occasionally still ice my armpits if I feel like I've kind of overworked my arms, on a certain day, just to try and relieve the tension, and the soreness. That said, I am still pretty pleased with the results. I don't know that I've had a significant improvement from the first to the second time. Yeah, maybe a little bit more improvement, but nothing too drastic. Like, I think most of the results were pretty evident the first time that I got the procedure. I do have a little bit of a problem with odor still in my left armpit, but it's not nearly as bad as it used to be. And I've come up with a pretty good way of combating the odor without using deodorant. In fact, I don't use deodorant or antiperspirants at all anymore. I don't need to. which is awesome because I learned that part of the reason why I think my clothes were being ruined is that deodorant is a very waxy substance. And so it gets onto your clothes and then it's harder to wash out. If you're experiencing odor, that's due to bacteria. So if that's mixing in with the deodorant and it's hard to wash out of your clothes, then that's part of the reason why your clothes are, being ruined and you can't get the smell out of your clothes or the stains out of your clothes. It's because of deodorant. So I'm not using deodorant at all anymore. What I am doing is that if I notice that I'm getting a little bit smelly, I will take a cotton pad and pour some isopropyl alcohol on it, and I will just swipe my armpits. Because what that's doing is that's getting rid of any bacteria on your skin, and then if the bacteria can't mix with the sweat, you can't have any odor. So I do that every few days or so, or just pretty much as needed if I feel like I'm getting a little bit smelly in my left armpit. And as far as maintenance goes, that's pretty much all I have to do. I don't really have to worry about my armpits anymore, which is really nice. A lot of you guys have had questions about whether MiraDry is effective for hands and feet as well as armpits, and the answer is it is not. Unfortunately, MiraDry is only FDA approved for use on armpits. And MiraDry is only effective where the machine is actually placed on the skin. So if you get MiraDry on your armpits, it does not affect sweating anywhere else on your body. I'll actually show you guys proof of the hair reduction. If you look, I'm trying to get the camera to focus, but you can only see hair growth pretty much right here, which is kind of obviously, I guess, an area that she missed during the last procedure. Same on this armpit, like most of the hair centers right here, so if I were to go back a third time, I would have her target just those areas because I think the rest of my armpits are pretty good at this point. I don't know why she didn't get the bottom. But at this point, it's livable, and like I said, there's not really much maintenance at this point. So I could go back a third time. I don't know if I really need to. I don't know if it's the smartest thing to do, even though, like I said, I feel like I haven't really noticed the tingling sensations lately, so, perhaps that was just a side effect that I dealt with for longer than normal because I wasn't as good at keeping up with the aftercare as I should have been. I don't want the side effects that I've had to scare you guys away from MiraDry, because everyone's experience is going to be different, and I still believe in the procedure and I'm very pleased with the results that I've had. It still has been absolutely life-changing, and if all that came from that is that my arms are a little bit more tired now and maybe I have to rest more frequently, I'm cool with that. Like, that's 100% worth it to relieve myself of the sweat, of the odor, of the embarrassment, of the constant maintenance. I mean, it's absolutely worth it. Just absolutely. So that's really all I've got for you guys in terms of an update, and I'm happy to continue to update you guys along the way if you guys want. If you guys have any more questions that I didn't cover, feel free to ask them in the comments and I will get back to you. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.